Hi, welcome to Stories with Mimi Laura. Today's story is about a friendly ghost, and the title is The Friendly Ghost of Glimmering Mansion. In the heart of a lush, whispering forest stood the grand Glimmering Mansion. Its tall spires reached towards the sky as if they were tinkling the fluffy clouds. The mansion was not just known for its breathtaking beauty, but also for its cheerful resident, a friendly ghost named Gilbert. Gilbert was unlike any other ghost you might have heard of. He didn't like to haunt or scare. Instead, he loved spreading joy and laughter. The mansion's walls, filled with his cheerful hums, always echoed with warmth and happiness. One sunny morning, a new family moved into the mansion. Mr. and Mrs. Maple and their two children, Tim and Rosie, were thrilled to start their life in such a beautiful home. Gilbert watched from the shadows, his heart fluttering with excitement. He had always wished for friends to share his joy with, and now he had a chance. But there was one tiny problem. Gilbert was a ghost, and he didn't want to scare the lovely children. So Gilbert came up with a plan. He decided he would do little things to make the children happy without revealing himself. He started with the garden. Every morning, Tim and Rosie would find the flowers blooming and the grass perfectly trimmed. They would giggle and wonder who could have done this. Next, Gilbert noticed how Rosie loved drawing, but was sad because her crayons were always broken. The next morning, Rosie found a brand new set of crayons on her desk. Her eyes sparkled with joy, and Gilbert's heart swelled with happiness. Tim, on the other hand, loved adventures and often dreamed of finding a treasure. Gilbert whispered an idea into the wind, leading Tim to discover a map tucked away in an old book in the library. The map led to a treasure Gilbert has hidden. A chest filled with shiny stones, old coins, and a note that said, "The real treasure is the joy and the curiosity you carry in your heart." Days turned into weeks, and the children felt the magic of the mansion. They knew someone kind was looking out for them, but they couldn't figure out who. One evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon, painting the sky in shades of orange and pink, Tim and Rosie decided to solve the mystery. They came up with a plan. "Let's say thank you for all the lovely things and see who responds," suggested Rosie. They made a beautiful thank you card and left it on the dining table before they went to bed. That night, Gilbert found the card and read the heartfelt words from Tim and Rosie. Tears of joy welled up in his ghostly eyes. He knew it was time to reveal himself. He wrote a note back. "Dear Tim and Rosie, I'm Gilbert, the ghost of Glimmering Mansion. I've watched over this place for many years, and nothing has made me happier than seeing your joyful hearts. I hope you won't be scared, but I am your friend." The next morning, Tim and Rosie found the note and looked at each other with wide, twinkling eyes. A ghost? But not just any ghost. A friendly ghost who had been their secret guardian. They weren't scared, they were excited. That evening, Gilbert, with a bit of hesitation, revealed himself. A soft, gentle glow filled the room as he appeared. Tim and Rosie couldn't believe their eyes. They weren't afraid. Instead, they felt the warmth and kindness that Gilbert radiated. "Hello, Tim and Rosie. I hope I didn't scare you," Gilbert said softly. "Scare us? You're the best friend we could ask for," exclaimed Rosie, running forward to give Gilbert a hug. Well, she passed right through him, but the intention was all that mattered. From that day on, Gilbert wasn't a hidden guardian anymore. He was part of the family. He would help Tim and Rosie with their homework, tell them stories of the mansion's history, and sometimes they would all dance together, their laughter echoing through the halls of Glimmering Mansion. The Maple family and Gilbert were a unique bunch, living harmoniously under the roof of the enchanted mansion. They proved their friendship and kindness knew no bounds, not even between the living and a gentle ghost like Gilbert. And so the Glimmering Mansion, with its tall spires and joyous echoes, became a place where love and laughter were the true spirits that haunted its grand, welcoming halls. Now let's look at the lesson we learned. The story of Gilbert, the friendly ghost of Glimmering Mansion, teaches about kindness, acceptance, and the power of unseen gestures. Gilbert's actions remind us that doing good deeds for others can bring immense joy, not only to those who receive, but also those who give. It shows that friendship can transcend appearances and preconceived notions, encouraging us to look behind our differences and find common ground in the kindness of our hearts. Let's have some discussion questions to follow this. And here we are going to start with number one. How did Gilbert show his kindness to Tim and Rosie? And what does this teach us about how we can be kind to others in our own lives? Question two. Why were Tim and Rosie not scared when they finally met Gilbert? And what does that tell us about overcoming fears or misconceptions about others? Question three. Gilbert used his unique abilities to make the children happy. How can you use your own special talents or abilities to help or cheer up someone else? Thank you for listening to Stories by Mimi Laura.